Three, two, one. Welcome to the Project Transcend podcast. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. That's what we say here. Brother, it's been a long time coming.
Dude, it really has.
Yeah, man. You know, we met a year ago, and I feel like after like our second talk, we were like, we should be recording this.
Dude, I will never forget. The first time I saw you walking by. I know we talk about this often. You know.
Yeah, man. And, you know, just when I saw you in the gym, I was like, yeah, bro, he's working out hard. I like that. Got to get to know this guy. So, yeah, man, you know, we've been friends for a little over a year now. Gosh. So I got some questions for you that I have not asked you at all. And I feel like being friends with you for over a year, I got to know some simple things, brother.
Bring it on.
Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Bro. So, gosh, I'll get lost in the weeds just off the first question. Hot dogs or hamburgers? You know, I'm going to go hot dog actually because just a good glizzy. Like, I also play golf. Like, I don't mean that. I mean that like the best way possible. Also, Chicago hot dog.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you, like, the supreme best. Like, you go to the Cubs game, you get yourself a Chicago dog. You're in it. You're just sitting there. You're in the vibe.
Yeah. Okay,
man.
okay. I'm gonna have to go hamburgers, brother. So, yeah, I just love me a double cheeseburger. If I'm being honest, I don't think anything can beat a McDonald's double cheeseburger, brother. Like,
You're
I'm
not a Big
biased.
Mac?
I'm biased. No, I'm not, man. I'm not. Real quick, next one though. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Summer. Same. Texas summers though. I know you from the islands, brother. So
it's different, man. No. I would go winter. I would take Texas winter over Texas summer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's very fair.
Because Texas winter is basically fall most of the time.
Yeah. Like we get about, I always tell people we get about 2 weeks of winter, like 3 weeks of spring, and then it's just hot the rest of the summer.
Like just 2 seasons?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just
pretty
2
much.
seasons.
Simple. All right, Dragon Ball Z or Naruto?
Oh, dude, huge Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Like, and that's really because I was introduced to Dragon Ball Z first. But Naruto didn't make me want to like do anything. I may have tried to like center my chakra.
Yeah.
But like there was nothing that beat just a good scream. You know, just a good like trying to hit Super Saiyan 1 as a kid. Like that was top tier.
Yeah, bro. A lot of fillers though, but it's a childhood memory for sure. All right, man. Cats or dogs?
Dude, dogs. We're dog people. You a dog. I'm a dog.
Yes, sir. I've learned to appreciate cats a little more.
You know, I feel the same way.
Yeah, my lady's a cat person, so it's definitely been a journey. One, trying to integrate them, but two, just
for those listening, he has 2 dogs.
Yes, and then she has 1 small cat. And let's just say my dog got a squirrel recently, and that's as far as I'll go with that. But
a squirrel,
and she thinks cats are squirrels. Let's just say that.
Okay.
All right, so here we're going to go into someone this one might touch people's nerves. Reality TV or documentaries?
Documentaries all the way.
Facts. I'm going to be honest, I can't stand reality TV. Not a big fan. I just can't do it.
I have to say I feel the same. But I think that's a discussion we have another time because as men, we're so factual based. We're so objective.
Mm-hmm.
Like I focus on cars, you know, engines, gas, stuff like that. Like A plus B equals C.
And if I can learn while I'm watching something, that's the goal.
Dude,
yeah.
What's a show that you loved to watch?
Oh man, like growing up, hated it, but like now I love to listen to any type of like Natural Geographic like TV shows or documentaries. It's just I just enjoy learning, you know. So I can't believe like that I've never really watched a reality TV show. So
you're saving yourself, in my opinion. I know everyone has their
brain
opinion.
cells.
Yeah, you're saving yourself the time. Now I will say there are some that like socially you're gonna learn something. I know like recently my partner made me watch Traders or The Traders. It's basically it's weird, but and I only watch for context. I only watch like the the British one or like UK, but they have the US, which was very, very good, apparently, from what my partner said.
Okay.
Is that good that we're very good liars here in the US versus the UK? I don't know. But I will say that basically what it is you start with like 26, 30 people, and they're labeled traders. So you have like the schedule goes in the morning, you wake up, you have breakfast.
Okay.
Everyone like talks. Then midday you have like a challenge, physical challenge, mental challenge, whatever it is. Any game show, has some kind of challenge, like cross the bridge and like this amount of time blindfolded.
Okay, cool.
And your teammates have to help you. After that, they reconvene for like a little social hour, and at the end of the day, they have like a big communal meeting. And at that meeting, they like vote someone off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like Survivor, would you count Survivor
Yes.
as a reality TV show?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I love Survivor. Bam. Okay. There we go. I love Survivor. I will say last time I binge watched Survivor, I completely skipped a lot of like the drama stuff. I want to see the games and I want to see who gets voted off. So I think deep down, I'm not a reality TV person.
Heard.
Yeah. All right. So next one's real quick. TV shows or movies? Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go TV shows, but I will specifically have to say just because I'm an anime nerd.
Okay.
That, like, I love my anime, and I watch that over TV drama shows. I'd watch that over, and I loved Home Improvement.
Okay.
Don't you get me?
Okay.
Like TLC, like all those shows, they got some too.
Now, are you a rewatcher? Do you rewatch TV shows? Okay. The only thing that I've been able to rewatch is anything Dragon Ball related. So, like, don't get me wrong, I've rewatched like Smallville, that '70s show, things like that, but I don't pay attention as well as I do with like Dragon Ball. I'm gonna be honest.
Isn't it funny? Like that's like a small snapshot of like a specific time zone.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like
what I just mentioned.
Yeah, like Smallville was so long ago.
Brother, that's the only show that like from when I was a child outside of actually that '70s show as well. But that '70s show and Smallville are the two that I went back and rewatched at like 25, 26. So
well, I'm glad you went to go. Those are great.
Yeah.
All of those I remember Smallville. Like I was just like, whoa, this is totally
That's the best Superman to me, bro.
It was the best.
He never put a cape on. But actually he did. He put his outfit on once or twice, I believe. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't remember now.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But it's still at the same time that was iconic to me.
Yeah.
As like I was a teenager back then at that point, sometime in like high school, like just killing it. And I was like, dude, Superman, this is so crazy. Pre-Marvel. I'm gonna call it pre-Marvel.
Are you a Marvel guy now though?
I am a Marvel guy.
I'm more of a Marvel versus DC guy now. That's not even all my questions, but that's a great one. I'm definitely a Marvel guy.
Let's bring that back. We'll run that back a whole nother section of just like why I have a Spider-Man water bottle.
Oh, bro, Spider-Man's my favorite superhero.
Dude, no.
He's strong. See, this is exactly why I wanted to ask these questions. How have I known you for over a year and I don't know that you love Spider-Man like that? I do. He's witty, he's strong, and he's like agile. Like Hulk's cool. He's the strongest apparently.
Straight beef muffin, but
Spider-Man's a genius. Hulk's an idiot until he's not the
Hulk. Well, you have Bruce Banner.
But like Bruce Banner's a genius.
Hulk would be like,
there's some realms where the Hulk like channels in his Bruce Banner, apparently.
Yeah, in the later Marvel movies, of recent times.
Or cartoons,
It does. Okay. And like Hulk Banner becomes this thing, which is a really cool development.
I do like that though, because like sometimes it's like just one-dimensional. Yeah. One-dimensional if the Hulk is just strong. Yes. So I like that they do bring that in.
And you know how many Hulk movies they have.
First of all, let's just say the 2008 one is the worst one ever.
Dude, I agree. Can we all just agree? Like 2008 Hulk should not have been a thing. Like that was just a miss.
Yeah, and then it makes me sad that the Hulk where I think it was 2010 or 12 where he like works on his breathing. No, that might have been the 2008 one. The 2005 one is the one I don't like. The one that he works on his breathing. I don't know the actor's name. He works on his breathing. He checks his heart rate. Like I forgot the actor. He's not the one who plays in Marvel though.
No, correct. Man, that was an old. I'll look that up.
We can get into the nitty gritty on that. But extrovert or introvert? First of all, what would you say you are? And I guess like who do you gravitate towards more?
Gosh, I think extrovert
for you.
For me.
Okay.
And that's only because like I get excited. Yeah. Like I get too. I'm like the dog in the corner of the room. That someone like just won a Mario Kart tournament, and I'm like, yeah, he won the water. Yeah, go Luigi. Like that's just me.
How well are you in containing your extroverts in certain scenarios? Like, do you know how to manage that pretty well?
Like my extroverted self?
Yeah.
It depends on the people.
Okay.
It really does. If I'm comfortable, like I am with you, good luck.
What about new setting, new room, new people?
New setting, new people.
Would you say you dive into a little bit of an introvert?
Oh, absolutely. Role? Yeah. I'm playing it safe. I'm not trying to be like the socially I'm like you get close and I'm like, welcome.
There we go. Yeah. So, because, there's some people out there who they're so extroverted that in a room of new people, they're Like, and I'm gonna be honest, that's not me. I warm up. I'm a warm up person. So yeah, I warm up to people. So same.
I am one to like branch out a little bit.
Yeah, same.
You know, like once you got to get the ball rolling, and I think that speaks to your extroversion that you would agree with. Like, as long as you have like you start a conversation and you start rolling the ball, and if it works out great, dude, you'd be working the room by the end of the night. I promise you.
Also, I know I'm the type of person to randomly talk to people at grocery stores. Sorry, people out there. I know I do that. So. Yes. Like, if I talk to you randomly, just know it's because I felt an energy. Yeah. So, and we're exchanging in that moment. So,
I'll be starting conversations with random people in line.
Yeah.
Like, look, we can either complain about this, or we can, kind of mess around and be here together and
make the time more sacred in a sense, you know? All right, next question: tequila, whiskey, or vodka?
Whiskey has my heart for majority of the drinking.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna make like a whiskey drink, I'm gonna go to whiskey. Like that's just my first go hand. But tequila also, like, I guess two different situations.
Yeah.
Catch me on a Tuesday night with like just a glass. It's been a long day. I'm gonna do that. But catch me on the weekend.
A little bit of tequila action. I call it tequila sometimes, but
dude, absolutely. That's a good name for it, because honestly, if that'll go too far. What are you?
I'm definitely a tequila guy nowadays. I'm gonna be honest, never really been a vodka guy. Put vodka in front of me, I'll drink it still. Put whiskey, I'll drink it. In my college days, strictly whiskey. Brandon, the Jack Daniel's honey. Yeah, man. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you. Yeah,
Brandon. Yeah. But tequila nowadays, again, I'll drink whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. This might be very naive and silly. I don't believe there's a rule between mixing liquor. And again, I'm 30 now. I haven't mixed it in a while, but I've just never had an issue with mixing liquor. And I've always remembered the nights, and maybe I haven't tried hard enough, and I don't want to. But I don't see an issue with mixing. Like, maybe I'm being naive. So, not too sure.
I would say try it now.
Oh man, brother, that's 30 years old now. Like, I believe I'm in my prime. I don't care what anyone says. 30 is my prime, but I don't know if I want to risk. My tolerance is really low, so I don't want to risk mixing too much. But
I do agree.
Yeah.
Now, how's your mixing on like beer before liquor, or
couldn't be sicker? Is that like you're saying beer before liquor, but liquor before beer, you're in the clear? Is that what they say?
Yep.
Yeah.
At least that's what I know. Everyone out there.
I do try to stick to that rule, but only because I've never really noticed it either. Like,
you're just a tank.
Maybe my immune system is just crazy, brother. So
I highly jealous. Highly jealous. I had to deal with this Asian glow my entire life.
See, luckily the white side of me holds that Asian glow strong, brother.
My Asians be out there.
Yeah. For everyone who doesn't know, what Asian do you
Oh yes. So I have Japanese from my father's side, but mostly Filipino and Hawaiian.
I see why you like anime. Yeah. Two more questions, and then we'll be done with this first part of this portion. This is a crazy question, but I have to ask. Milk before you pour the cereal, or cereal before you pour the milk?
So if you are out there listening, I don't even care if you can see my face right now. If you were out there and you go cereal and then milk, you're normal. If you go milk before cereal, I have to ask you, who hurt you?
Yeah, or who was possessing you?
Yeah, like what possessed you to think that that's going to make more sense? And I only say that because you're going to get more cereal by putting cereal in first.
Thank you.
Like, why do you want floating cereal? It's going to sink, and then you're going to have to refill.
Yeah.
If you wanted milk in the first place, pour it into a cup. I'm just saying. That's
all right. So I have a random question about this, since we're on this cereal topic. Brother, I have just witnessed that they put marshmallows in Fruit Loops. Like Lucky Charms, but Fruit Loops with marshmallows. I had a bowl last night. I had a bowl last night.
Okay, wait. Are you saying that they added marshmallows to Fruit Loops?
Yes.
So marshmallows with Fruit Loops, is that not just Lucky Charms?
No, because the Lucky Charms, like, carb, like the cereal, is all one flavor, technically.
Oh.
Yeah, so now you have the Fruit Loops with
multiple flavors.
Yes.
Okay, superior. Superior. I raise you Fruity Pebbles.
With marshmallows?
Yeah.
Have you had that? Is that a thing?
No.
Or you just put marshmallows in there?
I would put anything in
menace.
Yeah, but you know what? I put the cereal in first. So
have you ever tried the cocoa Fruity Pebbles?
They're
not Fruity Pebbles. Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles
with marshmallows?
No. Wow, that's like a whole s'mores, isn't it?
Healthy concept. Have you ever put protein powder like base as your milk for your cereal?
What do you mean? Like
I make a protein shake, it up, put my cereal in, and then pour the protein.
So I'll be honest, I have not. But has that been an intrusive thought?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I thought upon my intrusive thoughts, and I've done that.
You did? You acted?
Yes.
What do you rate? What's your rating?
It's not milk. Let's start there. So it's not the best.
Well, did you use milk in the protein shake? Did you do water?
At that point, there would be no point of it. Like if I'm thinking about sugars, we can dive into the whole health concepts of this. But
yeah, just divulge from the sugar concept.
So let's.
What's going to taste
So water, protein powder, shaking it up, cereal, 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Milk cereal, 10 out of 10. Okay. Whatever cereal you like. Ensure or equate protein already in a pre-bottle, poured into the cereal. 8 out of 10.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've done a lot of crazy stuff. Just to piggyback off of my cereal last night, I also had a peanut butter jelly sandwich right before it. So talking about our macros for the week, and then me giving you such a hard time yesterday.
Are you coming clean right now?
I'm coming clean right now. I gave him such a hard time yesterday.
Listen, no, this is a
about his calories.
This is a tell-all. So if you need to know for context, Matt, teacher, Arin, student. Oh my gosh, this is
man. I gave you such a hard time about bro, your weekends need to be more on point.
Oh yes.
And last night I had cereal, whole milk, and then before that I had a fat peanut butter jelly sandwich. It wasn't just a simple one; it was a fat one. Dennis makes the best peanut butter jelly sandwiches in the world. I did not accommodate to your ratio. My peanut butter jelly sandwich was fat. Let's just start there.
Those are the wet dreams of any bodybuilder, protein junkie. I would fall asleep to think about peanut butter. Other men out there who are unpure and do their own thing, I would fall asleep just dreaming about a fat peanut butter jelly. The macros hitting just right, but
nice little sugar rush. I'm telling you, that's probably a go-to. If anyone's craving anything, hit a peanut butter jelly sandwich. You will not want your ice cream, your soda. We can go down the rabbit hole with that, but yeah, peanut butter jelly sandwich. Last question. Okay. We can go down a rabbit hole. Toilet paper over or under?
Okay. So I have an interesting take on this.
Oh gosh.
So
okay.
I was.
All right, let's go.
So I'll do this because I have industry experience. I went to hospitality school.
Okay.
And I worked in hotels for up to a decade before, ever coming into where I am now, higher education. And so it was always over.
It has to be.
Are you? Yes.
There shouldn't be anything else.
Why are you under? You want to scrape the wall before?
The only thing I've ever seen that seems, I'm gonna put a percentage on this, 5% reasonable, is that a cat will come and play with the over. Yeah. I've never owned cats until recently. It's always over. It's always over.
Always over.
Yeah.
You're gonna rip from the bottom. I just don't understand. I'm already getting shook. Okay. We're gonna change topics before I start throwing things and be like, over you psychopaths.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy we ended that on the similar page there. We got some differences for sure, but I'm happy that Dragon Ball and toilet paper over are our similarities. There's a lot of other similarities that are the same, but yeah, man. Last topic I wanted to dive into is, brother, you're a pretty fashionable guy in my opinion. Something I've been struggling with is I went from growing up. I'm 30, mentioned before. Where the pants got wide at the bottom, you put them over your J's, and that was the vibe. And then skinny jeans came out when people were jerking. Never went into the super skinnies, but I went into the tight fit, the fitted jeans or pants, joggers, all of that. And then I'm noticing that these boot cuts are coming back and a little more high water too. That's another thing. Growing up, it's you'd get made fun of for having high waters on. But brother, I can't keep up. I don't know. I'm still stuck on these fitted jeans, and I'm seeing some fashion labels out there. Well, not labels, but people who are into fashion. They're wearing these boot cuts, high waters. just like I can't keep up with the trends, man. So like, what are your thoughts on all that? Like, where do you lie with fashion?
I think that's a very fun and interesting. So I do love men's fashion, and it's only because I don't push the boundaries. Now hear me out. I'm not out here wearing some New York runway type stuff. That stuff's just weird, and at this point, that's just for the commentary on X, which is not Twitter, but
X.
X. Yeah, I'm trying.
Is it not called Twitter anymore?
No, they took the Twitter sign down.
But is it just a sign? Is it still called Twitter though?
Not that I know. So I'm not on the platform at all.
Okay.
I never really subscribed to Twitter.
Yeah.
Just keeping up with the times. However, it's funny that
Are you on Threads?
What's that?
Are you on Threads?
I am on Threads.
Okay.
I'm trying out Threads. I'm trying to be cool, hip. Just like we're talking about these trends and everything. But it was actually interesting when they were transitioning the building, the actual building of Twitter, or one of them. They were taking down the Twitter sign. The cops got called on Elon Musk for taking down that sign because he didn't have the permits. On a company that he owns and a building that he has. That's all of his property, and he didn't have the right permits to take it down.
But it's his property.
Yeah. Because how dare you block it? Anyways,
that's deeper than just like property rules, or I don't know. I don't even know the term, but
there's a whole world of things out there.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like that big, like that's just something for public figures, really. Mm-hmm. Like when you're doing something big like that. And I'll go into details about. I was a part of a Trump Tower thing.
I feel like you've mentioned that to me, but I don't remember that. But
yeah, and it was super interesting because this was right during Trump's presidency at the beginning.
Okay.
I was a wee lad, and I was in Toronto, Canada.
You lived in Toronto?
I didn't live for a summer. I was an
Okay.
intern. Let me give more context. I was an intern working for Marriott at the time. And they flew me out to Toronto. Don't ask me how I got there, because being my extroverted, loudmouth self, somehow I got pulled into this internship. Okay. 80 kids all across the country, some Ivy League, some smaller.
I was high school.
Smaller. This is college.
Okay, gotcha.
It's college, a hospitality school. But we transitioned to Trump Tower in Toronto. Go figure, Torontonians, whatever you want to call them. Sorry, Canada. They would not really subscribe to Trump Towers.
Because of Trump.
Because of Trump.
Okay.
Being probably the most idolatrized American in the sense of all means by the word. So they were transitioning it to a St. Regis hotel. And they were taking down the Trump Tower like Trump, his last name. The fun thing I found out was that you can't take it down letter by letter from left to right as it reads.
How do you take it down?
You take it down from the P. Because if you take it down from the T, you'll have about a minute before they take down the R that it says rump.
So they're going off of the memes, basically.
Absolutely. They're trying to avoid all the memes. It can't be Rump Tower. That would degrade the name. You know? But the same thing, that happened that summer. That was crazy. But sign.
Okay.
All the same. Well, we really got off the track of trends.
Well, now I know that you've worked at the Trump Tower and hospitality school, right?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, man, when it comes to trends versus the new norms, we can dive into fitness, we can dive into society, we can dive into so many concepts. I was just really diving into
skinny jeans. So I'll say this. I'm sorry I didn't answer the question.
No, you're good.
The skinny jean era, for all of it that it was, is going very far away. Don't look at my pants. I'm sitting under the table. They're tight. But that's only because in my opinion, if you have assets, you might want to show those off.
Ass.
Yes. They're the assets. But the skinny jean era is moving out. We're moving into more baggy type era. So we're not even talking about just boot cut.
Yeah.
We're talking about just
baggy again.
Just baggy.
But I remember that in the early 2000s. I remember there are clothes to this day that I could wear from when I was in 5th grade.
Dude.
Because that's how baggy they were. Now they would probably be tight on me now. But I just can't keep up with it because back then it was cool. And then it's in 2012, if you were wearing those, it's what are you doing?
We're in this fun era. And if you look at time periods as they've progressed in men's fashion, there's always an homage, the antiquities, the throwbacks. Yeah. And because of social media culture today, we're looking back at Y2K times.
Yeah.
So that's exactly the time period. So what you wore is in right now.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird because I remember freshman year in high school, I was wearing the shell necklace.
Yeah,
I was wearing a
necklace.
tight PacSun shirt with like that weird like skull and star on it. And then like, you know, the girls had like certain kind of haircuts that were like layered. Forgive me, ladies, if like that's wrong. I don't even know the name of it. But like, and then chokers came back when I was in college. But at the same time, man, I'm a creature of habit. Like, you put me into a habit, you put me into a routine, I'm gonna wear that, you know?
Yeah.
The weirdest thing that I've started to do now is gym bros are looking like sorority girls.
Yeah, okay.
Big shirts, small pants, right? Now you put a weight belt on there and you tighten up the shirt, it looks pretty dope. But then if I don't have a weight belt on and I got some shorts on, it looks like I'm just wearing a skirt.
100%. I would even challenge that to say even more so the fraternity brothers of the world. Like true culture influencers who are just throwing this. And that's like any trend that happens, you'll probably find that in most college towns, like the Greek life will adopt that first. You know, so just in my original thought process of what's happening, these kids will catch fire. So they went big shirts, small pants or shorts or whatever, and that just caught wind of everywhere else.
I've been vibing with the big shirts for sure. Like I haven't gotten too much into the small shorts. I got a couple pairs. You've seen them. For everyone who doesn't know, me and Aaron work out Tuesday through Friday at that 4:45 a.m. wake up call. So
you want to know something funny is that you'll catch me in the gym with a large shirt and tight shorts.
Yes, sir.
Just, you know,
and shorts ain't no joke either.
No,
he will have some shorts on.
I wear those. They are hugging these buns, and I apologize to my partner. You should know, honey, that the only person looking at my butt is Matt.
Hey, yes sir.
He's my spotter. He's my boy. But I have some true hoochie daddy shorts.
Yeah, man, he's confident. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, that's what I'm struggling with a little bit, is keeping up a little bit with the trends.
I think that, you know, moving on for topics here, if you're okay with moving on for topics. I think the audience, and you know, if you're new and you're joining us, you know, what is Project Transcend from your point of view to the creator? You know, what is this? What is Project Transcend?
Man, there's so many avenues that I can go with, like explaining what this is, and the avenue that I have to go down. The avenue that I have to go down is shouting out the guy who planted the seed for all of this. That's my boy Sean Kim. I remember in 2017? We were sitting, his parents owned a restaurant. We were sitting in the parking lot on the bed of his truck, and he talked about this idea he had, this idea to transcend in everything that you do. And I remember the branch that I was going to work on was the fitness branch. And so there was Transcend Fitness, there was Transcend Gaming, and the umbrella was Project Transcend. And my man had this document written out about how there's like levels to transcending, and he was in charge of the gaming side of it, I was in charge of the fitness side of it. And in his dojo, which he called it, is, you know, like belts, like you level up like when you're transcending in life. Now I added the circle, the Enzo circle to it, which it's a Japanese circle, which means togetherness, one-mindedness. And that was the idea that I created with Project Transcend. But if you notice, the circle's not complete. The circle's never going to be complete. And whatever you do in life, there's always more that you can learn. There's always more that you can grow in. And that's the concept of transcending. Transcending never ends. And that's why there's the word project in front of it as well. Like, you're not completed. You're never going to be complete. If you think you're finished, if you think you're done in something, you're not. There's other avenues to grow. There's other places to be better at or to help others in, you know? Absolutely. So that's some of it. There's so much more to it, man. The fitness side of it is huge for me.
Yeah, that is one thing. I don't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
And one, for the camera, like, this is what this looks like here. So it's not a complete circle. I realize our microphone's in the way.
Okay, appreciate that.
But also, like, it sounded like you're already in fitness.
Man.
Like, what does that journey look like? Because obviously, like, here we are today.
Yeah. So, man, my journey is it's interesting. So, grew up playing baseball, basketball. Baseball was my first sport. Actually, martial arts was my first sport. Foot coordination, discipline, all of that. And then I got into baseball and basketball. And then around, maybe 4th or 5th grade, I went to my grandma's house for a summer, gained some weight. And that's kind of where it started, like some of the insecurities. And then from there, I went to, middle school, learning how to make jokes about my weight. And then beating people to the punchline, making fun of myself first before someone can get to me. And then it wasn't bad though. Like it was just like baby fat in a sense, right? Yeah. And then high school came around, playing a lot of basketball from 7th grade up until high school. And then I kind of got skinny again. Like I started to lose some weight, would never take off my shirt after basketball practice. I don't think anyone ever noticed that. But I would always baby wipe down because I was too embarrassed to shower at school. So I'd baby wipe my whole body down. My mom was wondering why I took baby wipes from the house every single day. And I would change my shirt while my sweaty shirt was underneath and take that off from there. I was too embarrassed to take my shirt off. So then from there, even though I was skinny and I was in basketball shape in my freshman year. And then after that, I was always a gamer too. So dove into Halo 3 pretty heavy and then gained a lot of weight my junior year, brother. Gained a lot of weight.
Why was that?
Because I quit basketball my sophomore year and still, hooped, like joined people for some football sessions outside. And it's really when I got into gaming heavy is when a lot of I will say there's some issues today that linger from my gaming days. Now, I don't ever regret my gaming days. I don't ever regret the friends I made from them. My closest friends to this day are from my gaming days. And I don't even consider gaming days actually with them. They're my brothers, They're my homies. But I developed a really bad posture from sitting like this all day.
Those KDs don't come free.
Yeah, and at that time, my parents also gave me the freedom to like handle my own food. So I was eating like trash, Yeah. So I put a lot of weight on doing that. Sitting for hours, not being active anymore. Genetics come into play.
Was it like dysentery?
Yeah.
Something
And
like that?
Sedentary.
Dysentery is totally different.
Yes. I apologize. So just hella sedentary, and then my senior year, I started playing ball again. But rewind. Let me backtrack. I remember laying at one of my boys' house, like on the ground. We were gaming, and I laid down onto the ground, and my belly hit the ground before I actually fully got to the ground. Yeah. And in that moment, I was like, and this was my senior year in high school. In that moment, I was like, man, like that isn't right. And so, shout out to my boy Tanner. He was already working out at the time. He invited me to the gym, and there's an old video. I hope it doesn't surface. But it's out there somewhere. Before we go to the gym, I'm pre-gaming my workout with Taco Bell.
No way.
Yeah. And he has a video of it. I'm trying to smack the camera out of his hand. But yeah, man, I came a long way. And then chased the basketball dream for a couple years after that. So that's what got me back into shape. But the same drive that pushed me for basketball caused a lot of injuries and a lot of imbalances to this day. So like I skipped meals to lose the weight. I over-exercised, which then led me to fracturing my ankle. I ended up fracturing my thumb. I was at Temple College at the time in the basketball class because that's where you could try out for the basketball team at the JUCO. Yeah. And so at that time, like I'm really trying to just fight through this thumb injury and living at home still. And my dad clashing, 19 years old, clashing, wanting to get out the house. I applied for Texas State, UT Arlington, UT San Antonio, and got accepted to Texas State. Not a lot of people know this story. Got accepted to Texas State, found a dorm, got the paperwork, ready to rock and roll. And something told me last minute, go somewhere where you don't know anybody. Went to UT Arlington. One of my homegirls named Jane, she got me a spot on the team to work as a team manager. I'm still chasing the basketball dream at this point, but I'm injured from doing everything the wrong way. Like, again, skipping meals, over-exercising, not resting enough. And then, working as a team manager for years, I went from 265 from the start of this journey. I know I'm everywhere with this story.
260. I should have asked at the beginning.
Yes, so 265 was my biggest. size 42 pants, went all the way down to 168. I was sick. Like I ended up getting sick at that time.
Wow.
And the same person who told me that I was gaining weight is the same person that told me I was way too skinny. But the crazy part about it is at 168, 175, man, I would look in the mirror and I would pull on skin and I would still feel like I was overweight. So it was a little bit of body dysmorphia. That was the start of the body dysmorphia. Like not knowing that I actually am not overweight anymore. Yeah. So anyways, diving into the basketball side of it, I was working as a team manager. I got an offer to try out for the team. And that summer, I went back home. I was like, why not see where I'm at in this realm of basketball? A lot of the overseas guys that I grew up knowing were back in town at Tommy Harris Fitness Center in Killeen, Texas. And this is one guy, man. He's in my brother's class. His name is Trey Nichols. I remember him vividly, man, just always knowing who he was. He was like the idol growing up. Like everyone wanted to be Trey. Everyone knew of him. And I was coming down the court, guarding him. And I was like, yeah, this is the moment. This is to see like all the work I've been putting in. Can I play a small Division I basketball? Because that tryout was that summer.
Yeah.
And I ended up stepping on his foot, fracturing my ankle in that moment. And, my dad he worked in the emergency room for years, medic in the military. He was like, just wait a couple days. So I waited 3 days with a fractured ankle in my house, all blue and purple. My dad looks at it on the third day and was like, oh, shit. Okay. Like, let's go to the hospital. Let's go to the emergency room. So he takes me there, fractured. At that point, that's when my life really started to change. My dad asked me, he was like, do you really see yourself playing like professional ball? And in that moment, it was a hard conversation at 22, 23 years old, saying, no, like I don't see myself. Like, so what am I going to do in life, And so around this time, it's 2016, 2017, full circle to the Project Transcend stuff. And we're diving into, like, what can I do with my degree? What is the avenue that I can go down? And we already got a groundwork of a concept of a business, So transcending, it's like, I don't want to be the person who puts my name behind a business brand. I want to be the person who puts a concept behind a business brand. So when you transcend, you're transcending in everything. And when you hear my story, there's a lot that we missed out on. I could probably go deeper into it.
And multiple sessions on this one.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, it's all about just growing, man. It's all about understanding that you're never done. And I know I've said that before, but you really are never done. Like every year is going to be a different challenge. Every day is a different challenge. So if you ever think you're complete, you might want to reevaluate. If you ever think that you're done in something, you might want to reevaluate.
That sounds like pure humbleness to me.
Yeah, man, and that's another thing too, man. Something that I live to this day, and we can argue about it, is I'm right until proven wrong. Like I really am, but I'm very. But the concept about transcending to me is like, even though I can think like that, you can think like that. I have friends who are always right in a sense, they think they're right. But the biggest thing to me is when you are wrong, can you accept it? And can you learn from it? And so that's the biggest part of transcending. When it comes to like my vision for Transcend in general, like of course a fitness studio, a gym, but I want levels to the facility. I want to have someone who, if they pay a certain membership to work out at the gym, that you can meet with a nutrition coach, a dietitian, you can meet with a psychologist to transcend, to understand and talk to people, like holding things in, especially men's health. I know we wrote that on the topic for another day, but men's health is huge, like, and we don't talk to each other.
Men's mental health.
Mental health, yes, mental
as
health.
Well.
Yes. And so I just have a big vision for this brand. I have a big vision for the work that needs to be put into it and understanding that as well. But yeah, man, I feel like I haven't stopped talking about it, but that's what I've been grinding for, man. And I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit now. It was a little dark during the COVID days, lost a lot of clients at that time, but it's building back up. And yeah, man, so that's a little bit of my story. And again, we can dive into more of it on another day, but yeah, what about you, brother? How'd you get into fitness? How'd you get into like your realm of just exercise and health and well-being?
I'll say one thing just to help wrap up this side as well. Beautiful. That's amazing. And I see a lot of, like the U.S. and our percentage of obesity right now, and how easily acceptable unhealthy processed food is.
Yeah.
It's just at an alarming rate. I think that if you listen to any health podcast, as we often do for Mind Pump, shout out Mind Pump if you want to do something every day. Every day, listen to them. It's a daily thing, but how easily acceptable it is, accessible and acceptable it is, no matter what the point. It's like it's just so easy. It's right there.
Yeah.
And with fighting that and adding mental health in, I mean, it's easy enough for someone to choose the worst option. In today's age, you could easily just choose more Taco Bell.
That's because of the easy route, though. It's that I don't want to cook for myself. I don't want to prep the meal on one day. I'm not organized, and it's a lot coming from me.
I don't know if you ever felt like this, and I'm sure that you have. So I'm trying to test in that theory. This theory is that if you had what you really wanted, right, like a totally unrestricted diet, like what we all dreamed that we could just eat and never gain weight.
Yeah.
Like, would you be happy with that? Would Taco Bell not kind of lose its gander? Would the Big Mac and the fries just kind of not taste quite the same? It just kind of old.
It makes me curious on people who actually have that type of metabolism, where like for me and you, we have to watch what we eat down to the T. Whereas like I have a few friends and even my significant other, like having McDonald's 3 times a week physically isn't going to mess with them. Now energy levels, that's a whole different conversation, but like aesthetically, like I eat McDonald's for 3 weeks straight, man, or Whataburger, Taco Bell, like whatever fast food chain it is, like I'm going to gain weight regardless of how hard I'm working. Now there's a line between calories are king concept, but again, that's a whole different.
And then that sounds like Super Size Me.
Yeah.
You remember that old documentary?
Oh, brother, I recently watched that. Maybe like
4
or 5 months ago. Again, I rewatched it. Yeah, that's such a good concept though. Like I wish people would watch that.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's like along that same line. It's like the accessibility of things, the taste, how it's like people engineered for people.
Yeah,
it's sickening to think about the illnesses that is being pushed out there, and we will divulge more into that.
Well, before we go away from it, like I'll say one thing about that is they want us to. This is a conspiracy concept. They want you to eat like that.
That's like big pharma.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Like that's just all.
They don't want us to be healthy because it's a full circle of money. That's all it is. They want you to spend money. They want you to get a little sick, spend some money.
So what are the responses? Full functional health and well-being. Yeah. Thinking about like what Transcend is offering, and that too is what I'm thinking as well. Transcend is a project on your life. It's answering towards like I've had my Big Mac. I still don't feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
You're missing something, and that I would branch back towards why Transcend is also transcending others. Like you have to answer yourself first. That's on the mentality, and that's why I think we also talk about mental health. I'm blasting a lot of topics here.
No, this is good
because divulge.
Because no matter who you are, what you do, someone looks up to you in some form or fashion. Like someone looks up to you. Like, and if you're going to be an example to that person, like why not take care of yourself? Why not transcend in everything that you do? And I know I started the whole thing off by saying with all your heart. That's like the phrase that I use for this brand. Because no matter what you do, work at it with all your heart. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect at it. Just put the effort into it,
That's exactly that's what we need, I think, today. And as we form like better men for today's society, because I think that's a calling of both women's parts that they need and want better men to be a desirable man. We talk about that.
Yeah.
But also like what does it mean to be a man? What is answering that? Because at the end of the day, we need a challenge. Men need a challenge.
Yeah.
To self.
It's ingrained in us to like do things that are challenging. Like there's something that's in us that make us want to like do more. Yeah. That's Nick Bear's quote, by the way. He has it tattooed on him. Do more. It's a Bear Performance Nutrition, I believe. But anyways.
Good plug. We'll talk to you later, Bear.
Yeah, man. But yeah, dude. So I feel like that's a whole nother topic we can dive into is how do we help the male journey,
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, brother, what about you though, man? Where are you at with your fitness? Like, you can start anywhere you want with it. Like, how has the journey been for you?
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for bringing it back to topic. So honestly, the journey. So I was a high school athlete. Never was a college athlete.
Okay.
And it's funny, we were working out this just the other day. Like I think it was just literally yesterday. I don't mean like Texas, like, oh, the other day, as in 3 days ago. That was a moment of clarification of like me explaining my backstory a little bit. So we're working out, doing our thing, and I'm just telling him. No, maybe it was 3 days ago. We were in the sauna.
Oh yeah.
We got our AR, and I was telling him about like telling Matt, like, here's the keys to the city. I do this every once in a while when I'm just trying to explain how to best work with me. Because when you have a workout partner, I'm sure at some point in time you butt heads. Yeah. No matter what happens, like when you are so much alike, you're gonna end up bumping heads.
I know I'm not the easiest.
No, insane, And I will bring this up too because I think it's hilarious. Is that the guy who like doesn't want to push too hard or be annoying or anything meets the guy who's always accepting. And it's like, it's fine, it's cool. Like I'll work with what I got. And so it's so funny, our relationship in the gym. But as I was explaining, it's like high school athlete, these coaches, I would not say were the best at how to motivate and find the motivation within a kid. Because you're just a kid at the time. So they were just always pushing, like another set, another rep.
But they come from a different generation though too, That whole generation is just so, sorry to interrupt, but they're just so on another like wavelength of motivation. So
gosh, yeah. Their motivation was to just be better than the next. And which I still think is a popular part to it all. But the way that they pushed it did not resonate with me personally. I think that if you have the genetics, if you have the drive, and you have the right upbringing, all those are going to match up, and you will truly go. For me personally, though, could use a little bit more care. Does that make me soft in a sense? That's up for determination on my end. But at the end of the day, that was a tough journey to go down. So I learned everything from Olympic lifting, straight gym workouts. That's really where my gym life really took off as a gym rat. I enjoyed like all my heavy lifts. I enjoyed learning about Olympic lifting. I had a trainer who walked me through all the Olympic lifts.
Yeah.
I kind of got set in that way. And so after that, once I went off to college, in my undergrad was just working out.
Bodybuilders.
Just bodybuilding. It became bodybuilding and sculpting. Because of course, like I wanted to look pretty good. I went from about 245, 250 in high school because I was a lineman at that time. I dropped down to like, my lightest weight was 175. And I felt ill. Yeah. And I absolutely have to agree. Like that was just rough around the edges. Like I did not feel good. I could feel my ribs, but dang, did my physique look disgustingly
shredded.
Delicious. Yeah. It was a whole nother level of like looks and feels. But was I healthy in a sense? Probably not, because the weekends were a lot of alcohol and the weekdays were a lot of carbs. But I worked out traditionally, and I was on such a good routine, and I would starve myself if needed be. That was just how it went down for me. But overall, I've started moving from like gym rat, because I promise you, since I started working out, a little bit into high school, that's well over a decade now. It's just been like focusing on more better health, like more optimal movement. I'll shout out to like JPG Coaching, who does a great job. JPG does a great job. But that's on learning what you want to. That's on self-directed learning, which I can talk to ends meet about that because that's what I'm getting my master's in. Yeah, it's like adult learning and self-direction. But at the same time, like if you want it, you can go get it. We have the ability to. Yeah, and that's where I'm focused now. Is like, how am I working with my body best, and not just slapping on more weight, not just trying to look good, but like feel good.
Feel good, brother. Feel good. Yeah, man. And I think, we can dive into like your story a little more another time too. But man, just seeing how strong you are and hearing your background a little bit there makes sense, man. This guy's pushing 315 easy. And I'm just like, okay, there's some technical things, but he's an ox. He's strong as an ox, man. So that's beautiful though. So just to move on to the next part, I want to talk about, and it kind of ties into a little bit of what you were saying, like the concept of like social media and what they push for fitness, nutrition, and like just health in general. So there's so many topics that we can go with, but I actually want to start with this one first, man. Is like most of the influencers that people look up to, they've done a cycle, they've done something, and to put out this perception that like, oh, you can look like me if you do this, this, and that, but in reality, they didn't add the extra that, which is one cycle.
It's like the secret sauce,
Exactly. And I don't care if you do it. I really don't. Let's first of all just be honest about it,
Yeah.
Like, and which I think the community is becoming more normal with that. Like, it's very, I wouldn't say rare. It's becoming more accepting to say that you've done some form of like TRT, hormone therapy, or just in general steroids. I don't even know enough after the word steroid to tell you. But yeah, I was just curious on like, what are your thoughts on like the realm of influencers who aren't mentioning that they've done something like that?
When you're gathering a following, and I totally understand, like if you are a civilian and you have the money, I can absolutely see if you wanted to just get up and start your own fitness model, Instagram, which big dream of mine, but I would rather not do steroids. I'd rather not risk my health. If you have the income and the desire and maybe even the connections, you're going to put those dots together like that. And that's only because what is social media in its essence is like an idolized pedestal that people stand on. And so you have to meet the direct, desire and what the demand is looking for. Demand is asking for 6 to 8 pack abs, massive chest, big biceps, and shredded legs. Looks like string cheese.
That's not natural though. And the hardest part for me with that is I heard a statement from someone recently, and they said, whoever you want to look like, if they're on something, just think half of that. Like your goal should just be half of that. That's realistic. Like the realistic goal is half of that person, like physique that you're aiming for.
And even more so, they look like they could lift a house, right?
Yeah.
They look like they could pick up your entire family and the family van and take it down to the grocery store. They are not actually strong.
No, they're just aesthetically pleasing. Like at the end of the day, like, yeah, I want to be strong, but if I'm being honest with you, like I posted something yesterday on my story saying, I go to the gym because I want to absolutely destroy my son in every single sport. Like I want him to have fear of me by the time he's 28. Knowing that I can beat him in basketball, baseball, football, sprints, whatever it is. And that's a part of the reason why I do it. And the other part, if I'm being absolutely honest, is I want to look good naked. Yeah. Like, I just want to look good. And that's for me. And let's be honest, bro. Like, 9 times out of 10, most dudes are lifting and wanting to look a certain way for the bros.
Yeah.
For
the girls or for the memes,
I care more about what you think about my 225 bench press than I do my fiance. Like she couldn't care less about my 225 bench press. But if you see me hit 255, you are probably my biggest cheerleader. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I hit 315 one day, you're going to be more hyped than my fiance will be. And no offense to you, Taryn, but like my fiance just knows that I lift heavy stuff sometimes. Like she doesn't care how much weight I actually lift. It's more for the bros at the end of the day.
It really is. It's for, and I'll tell you this too. It's like anyone who has a partner who looks at bodybuilding is like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And there's us guys out here and the entire gym rat community that's gaining a large social following and gain. As you can see, if you search the word fitness on Instagram, I dare you, you're gonna find all of them. Like the end goal at the end of the day was always to just lift more weight, but you're self-empowering.
Yeah.
It feels great that like your body and what your body's capable, and that feeds into the mental mindset of a man.
Yeah.
It really does, and you are pushing yourself. Now, as far as influencers are concerned, there are extremes, and you have to know that.
Yeah.
And like honestly, unhealthy extremes is what we idolize.
And so with the influencer part on steroids, the thing that gets me the most is one, I'm happy that you're able to influence others to lift, to get in the gym, to exercise, right? Now, the tough mental part, I know we dive into some mental talk later, but the tough mental part is like, you got to let them know, these newbies that are looking up to you, that like getting what you have aesthetically wasn't done because you're working out 6 days a week and you're eating 2,600 calories a day with 200 grams of protein. like you're actually enhancing yourself by using something extra. And if you are letting them know, fair. But if you're not, you're deceiving these people that in 6 months they can look like you. You're selling these programs. You're making money off of their lack of knowledge of the gym, but you're not telling them everything. That's something that bothers me. That's something that gets to me. So when it comes to steroids, man, I just be honest about it. I don't care if you do it. I really don't.
Honestly,
I don't, man.
That's also the personal choice, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, like any civilian could have that.
Yeah, man, and just be honest about it. That's all it is. The next thing I wanted to ask you, the best splits. There's so many different styles of splits out there.
I'll combine one extra thing.
Okay.
I'm cutting you off here.
No,
But if you ever walk in and everyone's doing legs on like a Thursday.
Thursday or Wednesday. Yeah.
Thursday or Wednesday.
National Chest Day Monday.
You're followed up by like triceps. Sometimes Tuesday. I found like Tuesdays would be, you know, it's like Tuesday, Thursdays for me. So you're either catching it later at the week, but you don't want to do it before the weekend.
Yeah. Because you want to walk around.
Yeah.
You don't want to kill your legs on a Friday and then can't do anything Saturday.
You just ruined your Friday vibe because you know that you have to suck it up and go do legs. So Matt and I religiously do legs.
Thursday.
Thick thighs save lives, and that's how we do, you know. But to every other time you walk in the gym, Monday. What do you think? What happens on Monday, man?
That's International Chest Day.
100%. Every gym bro and his grandma in there doing chest day. Like,
in all fairness, just to let you guys know our splits. Monday we do like recovery, stretch, some cardio. So that's the day where you don't have to worry about everyone doing chest. Tuesday we're actually doing like just some form of high intensity sprints into some decent deadlifts.
Yep.
So it's not like we're PRing on our deadlifts, but we're going to hit some deadlifts. Wednesdays are our chest and bicep days. Thursdays are our leg days. Throw some shoulders into that. Fridays are our back and biceps. And if you want, you can throw some conditioning in on Saturdays, but we pretty much have a 5-day split. And if anyone ever says that this is the only split that you should do, like that's just so wrong. No one has the one right way to do things. Now, if I wanted to talk to the masses, I would tell them work out 3 days a week and hit full body.
Yeah.
Like if I were to talk to the people that aren't consistent into the gym, if I were to talk to the people that barely can make it in, that don't have a routine, I would say full body 3 days a week, because the problem with splits is if I have a Monday chest day, a Tuesday back day, Thursday leg day, and then I repeat, if I miss legs on Wednesday, guess when I hit legs again? Next Wednesday. So I would just recommend for anyone who is a beginner, anyone who isn't religiously hitting the gym 5 to 6 days a week,
which are not.
It's pretty tough to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To hit a full body 2 or 3 days a week, like that is what I would say my best split is personally. If I had to give advice. Now, if you're a gym bro and you know you're hitting the gym 4 or 5 days a week, then we can talk about splits from there. But at that point, we can go from push to pull. We can go from upper lower. You can go from chest, triceps, chest, biceps. There's no right answer.
There really isn't. Yeah. It's tailor made to fit you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think like a lot of guidance, and I think Matt can talk better to this, is that coming from a trainer's perspective, they're gonna try to meet you where you are, but also they need to set guidelines.
Yeah.
Like the first thing is to just get a basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single person has to get a basis.
Yeah.
A routine. And that goes back to many different things I can talk about, but routine and basis counting will be your foundation going forward for eons. The rest of your lifetime will be considered from the basis that you set. So if you're new, like that entire basis that you set with your trainer needs to be set in stone, and you need to get that out of the way first. Yeah. Because you will struggle. I struggle even today being so comfortable in gyms. Like I'm rolling around on the floors. Like that's how comfortable I am in the gym, and that some people cannot say that. That being said, I do not have everything tracked to a T. Yeah. So I think that's a good way of saying it's also a journey. Mm-hmm. It's not just like I got to do this like.
And knowing yourself too, like knowing yourself as in, if you know that it's overwhelming to count every single rep and document everything down, then just go, know in your head that you're doing 3 workouts today. You're going to do a squat, a bench, and a lat pull down. And if you're a beginner though, like really dive into just getting in there. Like I think I saw a quote recently talking about that I would rather have shit workouts than no workouts at all, because those shit workouts will eventually turn into something. You'll have a day where you're feeling like crap and you'll go into the gym and you're like, this was one of my best workouts. Sometimes the best workouts are the ones I don't want to do, and I come out of there just feeling amazing. So when it comes to splits, man, I just feel like there's no right answer to splits. Now, if you're diving into the bodybuilding world and you're stepping on stage, I'm not in that realm. I am not a coach enough to teach that. But I do think that's where splits do matter. That's where your macros really do matter down to the T.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, the general population, stop drinking sodas. I'm not even giving crazy nutrition advice. Stop drinking sodas. Stop eating super late. Or if you are going to eat super late, let your body burn it off. Give it a little bit of a fasting period if you want to fast. There's just so many avenues to that.
I'll say that too. Is like, that's good coaching.
Yeah.
So like when you are looking for a coach, when you're looking for a trainer, when you're looking for a workout partner, you should be looking for someone who has that lifestyle. If your workout partner is eating the same junk food that you're eating, in fact, probably an extra Baja Blast from Taco Bell on the end of it.
Not the Baja Blast.
Okay, look, we all got our treats at the end of the day, and that's on living life. So what we're talking about is like functional fitness, and also the mindset mentality of like, there is burnout. There are days where
I just got out of a burnout, brother. Like I was just in a funk where like everyone who follows me, they think I live this lifestyle of like Matt always works out, he's always eating healthy, like he just has it down and pat, and it's like I don't though. Like I recently just 7 weeks ago, like I was in a rut. I wasn't happy with where I was, and I was 226 like recently. And I'm sitting at like 212, 210 right now. And it's not all about weight, but I feel better. Like I feel great. And you know what the change was? Yeah, I'm sacrificing some sleep at the start of this change in my journey, but the change was just doing it. The change was getting up, working out, shit workout, don't want to do it, don't feel like waking up, and just getting it done, and I felt better. As time went along, like I started noticing it. And that's the biggest thing. I've been telling so many people this, that you might not feel your energy change at the start, but give it a couple weeks. Don't just try it for 2 weeks and be like, I don't feel any different. What's the point of doing this? What's the point of waking up this early? What's the point of watching all of my calories like this? I don't feel any different. Well, my biggest thing that I've always told people is it didn't take you 90 days to get out of shape. It's not going to take you 90 days to get into shape. Now, I promise you, if you commit to 90 days, you will look better. You will feel better. But that doesn't mean that everyone is on the same path. Everyone has different journeys when it comes to how they feel. So take the time. Like I always tell people, if you're under the age of 40, like get a trainer, but then you don't need a trainer forever. Like find your routine, be an example to others, and teach others like once you figured it out. So
I mean, absolutely. Like that again is on like, how can you best fit for you? What's going to work best for you? And if you don't have that knowledge, consistency is what's going to lead you there. I think that's exactly what I'm hearing as well. Because to be honest, like I'm a creature of habit. Matt knows me. Like every day I show up to the same gym at our workplace every single day at the same time because I'm a creature of habit. And then same as you, and with that, like consistency is going to beat out anything. Just go. I know it's a simple, but I know for some it can be tough. But I speak as like a veteran gym rat. I'd say for over a decade, different gyms, anywhere, anytime. Like I'm comfortable. But I'll just show up. But it doesn't have to be the craziest thing in the world. You have to destroy your legs to have a good leg day.
Yeah, and another thing too that I used to work with trainers who used to say this comment: if it burns, it works, and that kills me, man. I hate that comment so much because quit associating the burn, the sweat, when you go to a Orange Theory class and you're just sweating like crazy, that you're associating a good workout with sweating. And I recently had to like stop thinking like that. Like if I'm doing a deadlift day and it's low reps, I might not sweat the way I would if I'm doing a hit day. So quit associating hard work with sweat. That doesn't mean that you're not getting the work in. So 3 reasons why you're not seeing your results is you're not consistent, you're not at a deficit or a surplus. And at the same time, last thing is you're not having fun.
Yeah.
Like you're not having fun with your results, because the reason why that ties in, fun is my third one, is because it ties in with your consistency. If you're not being consistent, and it's because it's probably not fun for you either. So, and then, again, at the same time, it's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be hard. Like anything worth earning isn't easy. You know, like anything that you want in life isn't supposed to be easy. And if it is easy, it's because it's been given to you, or it's because you're just naturally really good at it.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's never to take down on natural talent.
Mm-hmm.
If you naturally pick up on something, you naturally are there, like go for it.
Yeah.
That's all you know, and God bless, like use that. You were blessed with something, go for it, chase it. But you know, it does bring us to this, you know, like what do society and people think when they think of workout and fitness and gym?
Yeah. Man, that's good. I think when I first think about what society thinks of like how people should look, it's just so off. First of all, let's start with like women's health, like how women should be thin or they should have a BBL. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like that's just not realistic. And at the same time, women from a younger age tend to notice their body type earlier than men do, because of what society said a woman's body should look like. Now, I think society is changing a little bit on like super skinny model. Like, as what women.
I mean,
should
Calvin
look like.
Klein, for example, like having like in models in general being plus size.
Yeah.
And that, like more equal to that, and that's freaking great. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
From a fitness aspect and a health aspect, I can't necessarily. That doesn't sell to me.
Yeah.
You know, and because of how I am.
I think this might be a whole like rabbit hole, but the whole plus size concept, I'll talk about it. It bothers me, but then I understand it. Like I know people who don't have shredded six packs. I know people who are a little bit like thicker, and who are strong and healthy.
This is also true. Like the new bench press record, I think, and not to cut you off, I know it's a whole rabbit hole to go down. That guy's like what 5'5" maybe.
Yeah.
You know, just a barrel of a man. Like you would look at this guy in the street and be like, wow, I want to lose some weight.
Yeah.
He benched pressed the world record. The
just
world record.
Strong. So I guess that's where it's like it's tough for me sometimes, because when you want to think of the overall health concept and what a body should look like, or should, quote unquote, is what is considered healthy. Like the guy that you're mentioning, extremely strong, but what's his heart looking like, you know? Like, is his conditioning at a certain level? And if his goal is to be the strongest man in the world, that's fine. Train for that.
Yeah.
But most people aren't training to be the strongest man in the world. Most people aren't trying to be the best triathlon in the world. There's a healthy balance in between. And I think that healthy balance is finding where is cardio and conditioning versus weightlifting and functional movement.
So you have to think he just focused, like bench press. Like that's all. The guy sure wasn't going for squats.
No,
but like close to like 1,000-pound bench press. Like that's incredible. It's insane. Like I couldn't even fathom like what it takes to just focus on bench press alone.
And then when you look at his body, like you said, you see him walking down the street, you'll think, man, this guy eats a few burgers.
Yeah.
But in reality, like he is healthy. But again, what do we consider healthy? Like saying, now go to the men's side of it. Why is dad bods so like glorified?
That's a good question.
But then like you take a woman who's just had 2 babies or just a baby in general, and she's got some love handles on her, but we shame her body. Like
she needs to form fit to Barbie.
Yeah, exactly. But then why isn't the same energy that we give to the women to the men and their dad bods?
Yeah, I think that too is like it's not just like us. I know we're talking as two like men, but on the other side, it's like girls have like brought a lot, or women. I want to say girls, like women in general. I'll see a ton of social media of like, oh, I'm so attracted to dad bods, and dad bods are so great and whatnot. Like again, going back to like the challenge, that's part of why. And this is more of a personal philosophy. I know there's a lot of different things out there, but like, are you really healthy?
Yeah. Are
you living a lifestyle that's challenging you? We talked earlier about like what's it mean to have a challenge? Like what does it mean to be a part of like not just being so soft and eating Taco Bell all the
Yeah.
time. Like what are you working towards? Because without purpose, I will be honest, you're just floating around.
Yeah.
Like there's just nothing to it.
Like what are the reasons you're doing the things you're doing? You know? Or are you even doing anything with a purpose? Like are you just living in this like limbo of like I go to my 9 to 5, I come home and watch TV and go to bed. Like we are made so much more than just wake up, work, go to sleep. Yeah. Or let me even go deeper into it. Wake up, work 5 days in a row, live for the weekends and come back around and repeat.
Oh, that is the culture today.
Yeah, and that's the problem with society, man. Like, and it's not society's fault, the people itself. It's a bigger issue, but it's just the concept of like what it means to be an American. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm coming here for the opportunity. But the opportunity is work like a slave and not like grow in any realm. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to my 9 to 5 because I have to. Like rather than because I get to. And that's my goal, man. I want to, well, one, I enjoy my job right now. But two, is like a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't go to work and they don't enjoy like what they do. You know, like but they have to pay bills to live. And so it's just a tough balance because now the old school mentality comes into my brain. It's like just do it. You gotta thug it out. You know, like now that I have a child, like I think about that a little bit. It's like suck it up. But then there's a line where it's like my dad's generation would suck it up, and he sucked it up for 30 years. Where it's like we're a different breed, we're a different generation. Where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna suck it up, but what's my plan to make sure that if I'm happy, I can make my family happy? Because it all starts with you. Like I can't. The reason why I got out of my funk recently is I can't be the man and lead my family the way I need to if I'm not taking care of myself first. How can I lead my family if I'm in a rut, you know?
Yeah, like you won't, to be honest. And maybe like there are variances for good and bad days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, like your built consistency, your foundation, your transcending, if you will, is asking you to be above that.
And to cut you off real quick, plug myself. That's the point of transcending, man. Like it really is. Like you're gonna have your lows, but how do you get out of that, you know?
I'll also say this too, and I'll cut you off right back.
Yeah.
Is that we're made in such an atypical way on this earth. We are the apex predator. Mm-hmm. We are smarter and more conscientious than anything that ever existed on this planet, other than God Himself, who stepped foot down. Mm-hmm. Like that, your body is so adaptable. We are so adaptable. Yeah. Even if your body can adapt to the cold, your mind will, and it will tell your body. And then unless you die in the cold, but at the same time, like. This is the ability that we have. Why would you want to sleep on that?
Well, people are sleeping on it because of this statement. You've heard it plenty of times, is be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. But, brother, like, it's easier said than done. I'm going to play both sides of the field on this one. Like, it's easier said than done for sure. Like, being able to get out of that rut that I was in, right now it seems like it was the easiest task to get out of because I'm out of it now.
Because you're out.
But the toughest part was getting out of it. Like, I was struggling with, like, man, like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I here? You know what I mean? Like, why am I going into this 9 to 5? And it's like, I had to sit back and think about it. Like, I have the opportunity to do so. Like, I really enjoy this opportunity. And a lot of people would wish they had that. You know, so
that's a great, and that's what I think we'll talk about next time.
Yeah.
It's like what's your purpose, what's your drive? Because that dives really deep into mentality, really deep into a lot of things.
That's good, man. Well, shoot, brother. I have something for you, actually.
No way.
Yeah, man. So I know I've been making these. These are our new shirts. It's a Project Transcend. I'm wearing one right now. This one's a little bit different font. I changed them all to this font here. But yeah, brother, it's an X large shirt. It's a gray one, so I can see your work when we're in the gym.
Yeah,
but that is for you, brother. If you're looking for any type of merch, it's at projecttranscend.net. It's under the apparel section. If you're looking for any type of workout programs, it's on the fitness program section. Again, projecttranscend.net.
Go check it out. That is legit comfortable stuff.
Yes, sir. And that was good, brother. I appreciate you. This was nice. We'll do it again. And peace out.